Hi there. My name is Sanita Fejzic, and I'm going to read from my poetry collection, Refugee Mouth, recently published by Frontenac House. I'm going to read two poems, the first titled The Cellist of Sarajevo. And I'll preface it by saying that this poem is in honor of Vedran Smailovic, who is the real cellist of Sarajevo. He captured the attention of the world by playing his cello for 22 days in a ruined downtown square in Sarajevo, where 22 people were killed by a mortar shell. A lot of people have honored him, and this is from one Sarajevan to another. The Cellist of Sarajevo, who played like a loyal lover, Albinoni's Adiago in G minor inside the broken ribs of our hollowed National Library, who played with skilled fingers in street corners as one of the richest collections of Oriental manuscripts in the world turned to ashes. A stubborn musician, a real Bosanets, played under threat of snipers at midnight funerals as bombs dried the city's wells of its last drops of hope. Who put on a neatly ironed three-piece suit and meticulously trimmed his Nietzschean mustache for one more to die for performance as people collapsed on their way to humanitarian aid trucks. Such is the Bosnian spirit, how Sarajevo persisted for 1,425 days, how Sarajevans withstood 500,000 bombs, as others not unlike me today watched the spectacle on TV. Regarding the pain of others, Susan Sontag says people turn off not just because they have been made indifferent, but because they are afraid. I am afraid. I never heard the cellist famed Adiago. I am afraid he is equal part fiction and fact, like me, like my memories of the siege. I am afraid of the TV, the carnages. Just a bit of context for those of you who might not know about Sarajevo or what happened there. Sarajevo is the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it was Sarajevo was under siege, the longest modern siege in history, in modern history, in fact. During the 1992 to 1995 Balkan War, I was just 7 years old when the war broke out, and it culminated into evidence of a genocide against my Muslim Bosniak people. I'm going to read one more poem, again in honor of someone else. It's called The Bone Collector of Srebrenica. And it begins with a quote from the Sarajevo Times in 2016 that says, Ramiz Nukic, alone, bone by bone, found more than 200 bodies of Srebrenica victims killed in July 1995. The Bone Collector of Srebrenica. Correction, more than 300 bodies over 27 years. He walked 40 kilometers a day, knew the Bukve forest like the letters of his last name. 40 kilometers of raw feelings spilled from Ramiz's body as he unearthed leg, arm bones, a moss-bearded jaw, picked up what used to be a man or a boy at the bottom of a stream, foot, collarbone, wild violets protruding from a pelvic. Ramiz Nukic, bone collector. He fled, survived, unlike his father, two brothers, bones under fallen branches. I cannot just let these bones decay while someone's mother or sister is crying, searching. The land remembers July 11th, 1995. Soldiers executed 8,000 men and boys, trapped those inside Bukve's green cauldron, mowed down 15,000 racing hearts with machine guns, plucked Muslim bodies like weeds from their lands. Ramiz, bone collector, walks through minefields, a small muddy road over hills, the forest that once almost ate him, to give families the dignity of burying their loved ones. Now, these two poems are from the War collection. There are other collections in this book, and sorry, there are other sections including unsettled, with a dash between the un and settled, mother tongue and peace, which is incredibly beautiful, queer, feminist, and really a ray of hope that another way of living in the world is possible beyond war and systemic violence and hate. There will be a book launch for this book as well as another that came out this year, my play Blissful State of Surrender, organized around similar topics and published by Playwrights Canada Press. The book launch will take place on Wednesday, July 9th at 7 p.m. at Perfect Books here in Ottawa on unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin Anishinaabe territory. I hope to see you there. Thanks.